All right, we're back. So, my recorder just turned off while I was going to the toilet. Since I left when I'm gone to the toilet, since I left my phone for a long time until it turned off. So, yeah. All right. Anyway, so I want to discuss about the cosmological hierarchy and verse types. So, anyway, let's get this over with. Since I want to make this quick because I'm lazy, anyways. So, anyway, let's start with the universe. So here's the universe, ours. Type, space, level, universal, inhabitants, us, and hypothetically many others. Location, multiverse, contents, observable universe. Diameter, observable universe, 93 billion light years. Universe, unknown. Dimensionality, 3 plus 1. 3 spatial dimensions and 1 time dimension. Our universe is a name for the universe we humans currently inhabit. This includes the individuals who contributed to this wiki. As far as we are aware, our universe is the only observable and measurable space, though this may change in the future. While the entire universe is still a mystery, what we can gather about our observable universe is that it contains 3 spatial dimensions and 1 temporal time dimension, and is a total of 93 billion light years in diameter. As far as we have been able to determine, there has been no signs of life except for us yet. It is possible that the universe is indeed infinite, though the Big Bang Theory would suggest that at one point the universe was compressed into a small point, which then exploded into the surrounding nothingness. Something like this could still happen if our universe were infinite. The measurable space we call the universe could have been compressed into a point within a larger infinite space before simply expanding, a process which obviously continues to this day. However, the more our universe expands, the longer it takes light to reach our planet, meaning unless we begin to expand ourselves further throughout the universe, it will take longer and longer to discover more of the whole universe. Other names for this space are the known universe or reality, though the latter term can be applied to everything that exists, whether or not humans are aware of it. Exploding universe, universe, ceases, supercluster, blah blah blah. Yeah, we've seen these things before, guys. We've seen these things on on our other video anyway. So all right, let's move on to the let's move on to the next one. All right, so we are going to discuss about the multiverse next, since containing infinite universe, 10 and then 10 to 11 dimensions. So here we go. Multiverse. Type, space, level, multiversal, inhabitants 0, finitely or infinitely many. And location, position. Location, metaverse or megaverse. Contents, universes, interdimensional, void, dimensionality. Variable depending on the interpretation and or structure. A multiverse is a set of a finite or infinite number of universes, frequently interpreted as a space containing distinct, typical, non-interacting universal bubbles. Occasionally, the term is used to define the hypothetical set of every single possible universe, including the universe that in which we live in. A number of distinct multiverse hypotheses exist that can describe multiverses in various ways, but in essence, the feature in common is that they involve multiple universes or realities distinct from each other, and from the one that we, or at minimum, a single observer experiences. The various universes with a multiverse are called parallel universes. Other universes or alternate universes, it is possible to clarify a multiverse based on what type of universes it contains and how they relate to each other. See Altverse. So this is a dimensionality. The dimensionality of a universe depends on the specific interpretation of the multiverse taken, and blah blah blah, like that. Yeah. So while there is a lot of these, to be honest with you, there's actually a lot of these. Like, wow. Alright, so let's go back. Okay, so after the multiverse, we discuss about the Arcverse. Okay, so Arcverse. Type, Arcverse. Level, Arcversal. Location, Omniverse, Ultraverse, or larger scale Arcverses. Soup count, inhabitants, an infinite number. An Arcverse is a cosmological structure that is defined to be a large set of verses that are composed of universes. Simply put, they are finite or infinite sets of smaller Arcverses. arcverses are nested within an infinite stack known as an arcverse chain with the Omniverse and fill every possible gap of reality in it. In some cosmology tiers, the start of the arcverse. I spelled it wrong. The start of the arcverse chain is considered to be the gigaverse. Okay, so where are we? Oh yeah, so the next one is the arcverse chain within the Omniverse. In some cosmology tiers, the start of the arcverse chain is considered to be the gigaverse, a finite or infinite set of megaverses, since it can be considered to be the start of verses that start to lose any significant meaning if the category of the definition of arcverse is broadened to include the universe, multiverse, megaverse, and then the verses are known as metric verses in the metric verse hierarchy. In other cosmology tiers, there is no difference between metric verses and arcverses, and the terms can be used interchangeably in that case. In that case, the lowest nested level of arcverse is the universe. An arbitrarily large group of arcverses within a larger arcverse is known as an arcverse cohort. Sorry if I spelled that right. Though the term ultraverse is used when the arcverse within it have an extremely high nested level, and the term verse cohort is generally used when said verses within the arcverse are metric verses with designated names, e.g., universe cohort, multiverse cohort, megaverse cohort, etc. Arcverse with a finite nested level index are often generalized to ordinal indices. This whole hierarchy of old ordinal indexed arcverse is known as soup count. The omega arcverse is generally considered to be the omniverse or small omniverse. This article will primarily focus on arcverses or finite indices, while the soup count article will focus more on infinite indices. About the simplest version of an arcverse is to consider a finite or a set of smaller arcverses composed of a finite amount of universes, blah blah blah. Yeah. So here it is. So this is S plus T plus 2N2 S and dimension arcverse T is temporal dimensionality, and N is the nested level, the arcverse, and blah blah blah. And then it's S plus T plus N minus 1. And system. Wow, there's a lot of these. Oh god. Oh wow, there is a lot. Wow, there is a lot of these verses. I saw some of them. I saw on the verse and dimension in Wikia. Well, yes, I did, but I saw it on the Beyond Universe comparison videos. So and universe, etc. Yeah, basically. So all right, let's go back. Alright, and now let's discuss the Omniverse. So, the Omniverse. Type, space, level, omniversal, location, monocosm, the barrel, paradox, space. Contents depends on interpretation. When the arcverse with index omega, an omniverse contains arcverses with lower indices. When taken to be all of existence, it contains all things that exist. Subcount ordinal index, levels, subcount ordinal index, omega. The Omniverse is the largest of the classical verses, surpassing a multiverse or even any of the arcverses by a trans-infinite factor. While frequently argued to contain absolutely everything, there are limits to the Omniverse's extent, reached when one attempts to derive something not a part of a given understanding of reality. Duration, the Omniverse holds everything that can be instant. So yeah, the simple answer is that the Omniverse contains everyone and everything in existence that can ever be or ever will be in existence, basically. It's a bit confusing, but still. The Omniverse exists in the surrounding emptiness known as the outside, a void of virtual nothingness. Whatever may lie outside of these concepts is simply referred to as beyond, one of the many iterations contained by Transcendent. Two God verses orbit the Omniverse, one belonging to the Creator and one belonging to the Destroyer. So we're starting from get to reality to fiction. So We are shifting from reality to fiction, folks. So we gotta get ready. So the Omniverse, the three Godverses, and the outside that are what make up the barrel, the local monocosm. So yeah, gallery. So here is the images. They are very cool images. See also these things. Blah blah blah. Yeah, of course. Alright, so the Omniverse contains absolutely everyone and everything in existence, right? Well, not exactly. If you really think that the Omniverse contains everything, well, I would like to say that you're wrong, since there is the box. So anyway, let's discuss the box. The box. Oh, look at this thing. Very cool. Type, fractal, level, highest, impossible. Inhabitants, all. All things in existence and all things that ever will be, or everything that has ever be or ever will be. Location, super reality, arguably. Contents, everything else, including Omniverse and the Altacre, the barrelplex. Diameter, each fractal is an infinite level surpassing all ordinals. Dimensionality, inexplicable. Holomagus unreality level, infinite. Holomagus real level, real verse level, infinite. Three-dimensional. Look at a single copy of the box of our own. Oh, so this is the box. So like if you have a box somewhere in your house, then congratulations, you're the most powerful being of all time. All right, sorry, I was just joking. Anyway, so the box is the cosmological object that contains everything, regardless of internal properties. It is in the box for any value of it. This means that the box is the largest imaginable, unimaginable, theoretical, non-theoretical, unphysical, metaphysical, pataphysical, useful or useless set. The box is not, if you will. The box contains anything beyond space-time, reality, logic, and everything else that could, can, and will ever be thought of or not thought of. The box contains the Omniverse as well as. Sorry, guys, for a moment. That was just a disturbance. Contains the Omniverse as well as the infinite variations of said verse to the point where it is not even a verse. The box contains not only all of existence, but infinite variations of an infinite set of concepts, completely different from existence. The box contains everything outside the box while still being contained by the box. Additionally, the box contains all properties and anything that can be elaborated or not elaborated upon effectively. All statements include the tag is inside the box by definition. The box also follows all types of physical realm, using all properties, including the metaphysical realm and the pataphysical realm. No entity, concept, possibility, or impossibility exist outside the box. Any attempts at explaining how something exists beyond the box are retroactively nullified by placing something beyond or outside it. It's the very fact that the object versus being holds properties at all places inside the box. All permutations of logic are in the box, and it also contains an infinite number of copies of itself. One version of this would be the Altaka. There's the rulers of the box. You can read it yourself and pause the video if you wanted to. So here it is. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to make this quick. So here it is. Okay. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so let's go back to the list, shall we? Okay, so you already saw the box. And the next thing contained within is the Altaka, or maybe something else. Maybe outside of it or something. Alright, so here it is. Altaka. So there's no image basically. So type alternative location. Often other Altaka or self versus always. The box contains cosmological elements. The Altaka, plural Altaka, from alternate, and the Latin word for Aka, meaning box, It is a self-contained cosmology that exists within the box, but does not necessarily have any connection to any other cosmological hierarchy, or the elements therein, and written or otherwise defined cosmology forms an altaka around itself, no matter how large or small. The baroplex is the default altaka assumed to be in play by this wiki's shared cosmological elements. It is marked by a simple recursion at the lower levels, counting upwards via power setting or similar operations from universes through Omniverse and the like of Altaka. They do not need to have any of these traits. Some can be closed loops where the largest verse is contained by the smallest. So basically so these things while other branch off into multiple loops that are then surpassed by something else. Certain Altaka are small and have only a finite number of levels within. Others are large and complex enough to surpass even the usual notions of most infinites or the concept of meaningful arrangements itself. Altaka can contain themselves larger Altaka cosmologies, ultimata, such as the box or the Omniverse, or anything else that forms a cosmology, but they are ultimately still contained within the box. In this way, they can be compared to the Imaginata or the Imaginarium, except mapped to cosmologies rather than imagined realms, an entity or structure that is somehow. Okay, so where were we? Unsurprisingly, for itself, Altaka can contain themselves larger Altaka cosmologies or ultimata such as the box or the Omniverse, or anything else that forms a cosmology, but they are ultimately still contained within the box. In this way, they can be compared to the Imaginata of the Imaginarium, except mapped to cosmologies rather than imagined realms. An entity or structure that is somehow not a part of any cosmology can be said to exist within metemperic space, but doing so without inadvertently defining one's self as a cosmology of sorts, and thus an Altaka is difficult. This wiki's cosmology tier page effectively details the contents of various Altaka. So sorry about the pause, guys. I've just eaten some crispy shrimps. Alright, so we're back. So if you think that the Altaka was it, well, you're wrong, since we have three more to discuss: the Omniverse, Realium, and the Imaginarium. Let's start with the Omniverse. Alright, here's the Omniverse. Type: top level, top inhabitants all. Location: it cannot be located because it is the thing that defines location. There are no locations except within it. The only way to locate it is on the outside of everything else. Contents: everything. Size: dimensionality all. Just the name of everything for the all-encompassing set. It is in our nature to name things, and this is a name to include all names. Whenever one talks or thinks about anything, that thing is inside it. No exception, non-zip. It represents the top level of this writer's cosmology, as defined here on this wiki. It has been referred by many other names, like Reality, Omniverse, the Box, etc. But here, the name Omniverse was chosen. These names may also plausibly refer to things that have been named differently in this cosmology. Reality versus fiction. there has been an attempt to define the Omniverse in a way that actually makes sense in our true reality, as well as with any imagined or fictional one. So I just divided into two parts, the Realium and the Imaginarium. Yes. So it is some kind of abstract, conceptual, and embodiment type of structure, and there's lots of explanation here, so I'm not going to be going through all of them. Okay, so let's start with the first structure, that is the Realium. Realium, if I spell that correctly. The Realium, type, real, level. Top for all that is real, inhabitants, all real ones. Location, Omniverse. It defines location for all real things. There is no other location for them than within it. Contents, everything that is real. Dimensionality, believed to be three spatial dimensions in one time dimension, but could be anything. Realium is just another name for reality. Although put it in the context of this writer's top cosmology. Reality is that which, when you stop believing in it, it doesn't go away. Sorry, that's inappropriate. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm just going to. This video is not for kids, okay? Good. Position on the Omniverse. The Realium is one of the two essential parts of the Omniverse, the other one being Imaginarium, which stands in opposition to it. The Great Barrier ensures the separation between both. It contains everything else. Reality is also the Imaginary. Internal organizations. You can pause the video if you want to read all of it. Just go to the Verse and Dimensions wiki if you want to know about it. So, okay. Moving on to the last cosmological structure, the Imaginarium. Alright, so here's the Imaginarium, folks. To be honest with you, there are a lot of eyes. If you notice them, these ones are eyes, those yellow things. There's lots of eyes. These are eyes, in my opinion. So, type, imaginary, level, top level of everything that is not real. Inhabitants, any that aren't strictly real. The creatures of the Imaginarium. The location, Omniverse. It defines location for all non-real things. There is no other location for them than within it. Contents, everything that is not strictly real. Dimensionality, none, and all. The space of imagination, it is not a dimension, a realm, a world, a space, a void, a verse, or a reality. It just is. The Imaginarium can be put into its own category if we classify it this way, but calling it a space or any other thing actually will do. We must call it something in order to talk about it. It is a distinct weakness in our language that it has no words to describe or the indescribable. Therefore, all these words chosen to do so should be viewed only as imperfect metaphors at best. Different cultures have named this thing differently and imagined it very different properties. It has been named the astral sea, the beyond, the chaos, the essence, the flow, the in-between, the magium, the mist, the nothing, the outside, the primordial chaos, the strange, the unreality, the unspace, the void, etc. Position in the Omniverse. It is one of the two essential parts of the Omniverse, the other one being the Realium, which stands in opposition to it. While the Realium contains everything that is real, the Imaginarium contains everything that is not strictly real. This includes things that are just not real, but also things that are both real and not real. At the same time, as well as things that are neither real nor not real, or even things for which those properties don't even apply. Things that aren't even things, paradoxes, etc. What is it? One could say that the Imaginarium is unreality. Of Emarith. Sorry if I spelled that correctly. The element of which imagined things are made of, before being molded and given form by the process of imagining them. Whenever anyone talks about the Imaginarium, it is assumed that they are talking about what could be called the shallow Imaginarium. not the entirety of the Imaginarium. Unless otherwise stated, everything in this text applies to the shallow Imaginarium specifically. Its nature is that it has no true or real nature. It has no kind of nature in existence, actually. In terms of defining it, it cannot be defined except in this weak way through nonsensical analogies, etc. General structure. Oh, cool image. And there is a lot of things here, so there's a lot of explanation about this one Imaginarium Realm, a realm of imagination, like the fifth dimension in DC, although much, much bigger. So, like, if Mixius Pilic were in the Omniversal Adventures verse, like where my verse is located, where verse and dimensions Wiki's cosmological structures apply, including the Imaginarium, he would be so powerful. I'm not joking. Dude, like, seriously, there's a lot of these. Like, wow. Ooh. Wow. Nobody can ever explain this. There are attempts to explain it, but can't, basically. So, okay. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, and peace out.